Welcome to the I Love Recruiting podcast with your host, Adam Roach.
Welcome back, everybody, to our next episode of I Love Recruiting. I'm your host, Adam Roach, and boy, do we have an impact person for you today. And before we begin, I want to share with you, I want you to remember this. One of our sayings is recruiting equals influence equals leadership, right? That is our equation on I Love Recruiting podcast. So today, I'm bringing to you someone that is not in the real estate space. I'm bringing you someone that is actually in the music industry. So music industry, what does that have to do with recruiting? Well, Alexandar Star has everything to do with recruiting, and I'll share with you why. He's an Emmy-nominated music artist. He's an impact artist, and check this out. This is what he says on his website, alexandarstar.com. I'm writing music to help people feel good. Because when people feel good, good things happen. Now check this out. His name is Alexandar Star. So let's take out the Alexander and put A.Star. The dude's a star. That's why he's on I Love Recruiting. So Alexandar Star, welcome to the show.
Yo. What's up, Adam? Happy to be here, man.
Yeah, absolutely. So we had the opportunity. So I met Alexandar in New York about 3 or 4 weeks ago. I was taking my son, his school was doing a Model UN at the UN in New York, and Alexandar was performing up on stage. And you were crushing it, man. It was really, really cool to watch you up there perform. And all the kids around me were like, oh my gosh, we got to go meet him. We got to go meet him. And so I had to do the cool chaperone thing. It's like, come on, we're going to go up there or we're going to go meet Mr. Alexandar Star. And man, I got to tell you, you were so cool, so down to earth as you are. And dude, you took selfies with us all night long. That was awesome, bro.
All night, man. And it's positive energy, man. I feel like regardless of what your platform is, when you treat people well, you'll get treated well just the same. So, it's how I live, man.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that. So tell our audience, tell our audience who Alexandar Star is, because you're not in the real estate space, you're in the music space.
Absolutely. I'm in the mental real estate space.
Oh, I like that.
I like to occupy mental real estate with really nice properties. I don't know if that was a good, that might have been corny, but I ran with it, whatever. Absolutely, man. Good vibes is my business, man. I found a very long time ago that music has power to influence people's lives, but not only their lives, their behaviors. And long story short, if I'm going to influence people's behaviors, I want to enable people to do good things. It's a lot of negativity out there. It's a lot of ignorance. It's a lot of cold-heartedness out there. And if I'm going to make music to impact people's lives, I want to warm them up.
Yeah, that's very good. So walk us through. How did you get into the music industry? I mean, we see all these shows on TV, right? We see these music shows. We see. What is it? America's Got Talent. I don't remember what they are. Dude, how did you get into the music industry?
Man, I've been doing music full time since about 11th grade. Okay. I was in a recording group. Actually, I was brought to the recording group because I was freestyling at a basketball park across the street from my house, and I had this big crowd around me. And it just so happened the music manager happened to be driving by the park, and he saw this guy with this big crowd. And he came and observed, and he pretended to challenge me. And when I jumped on him with lyrics and stuff, he was like, that's all I wanted to know. Come talk to me. And I was 16, and he basically brought me to a studio where I would eventually meet my future recording group. And we independently put together a project, an album, and we would hit the streets of South Beach, of the Hard Rock, of colleges, of malls, just singing acapellas to people. And from singing these acapellas to strangers, we ended up selling 9,000 CDs, $10 a piece. Like,
wait. So you sold 9,000 CDs just from something you recorded and for passion and for fun, right?
Yeah. And, exactly. Just approaching people saying, hey, we want to sing something for you. And we would hit the harmonies and we would hit the beatboxes and the rap verses and, just surprise the crap out of people. And we sold a lot of CDs. Yeah.
That's really, really cool. And so what happened after that?
An NBA player moved us in his house because we approached his table on South Beach and sold him a CD. And he had us perform at his family reunion. And, we wowed his family from his kids all the way up to his grandparents. And he was like, guys, I want to invest in you. I'm starting a label. Do you want to move into my house with me? And, we were like, we're going to have to think about that. Huddle. All right. Ready, break. All right. Yeah, let's do it.
It took all, about 10 seconds to decide?
Yeah. So age 18, I'm living with an NBA player in his mansion in South Florida. And
wow.
Yeah. And just to kind of like carry through that whole experience, it was amazing. We went to his parties. We were driving his cars. We were living that life. When we were in the club with him, women thought I was in the NBA. They're like, "Oh, what number are you?" and but what's interesting about it is, man, he's an incredible person. I'm not going to name names just because I don't want to put him out there like
sure.
that. He's an incredible person and with a great heart, but neither of us were business people for the music industry. So the whole time we were living with him, we were waiting on him to say, all right, guys, this is going to be your budget for music, for marketing, for clothing, and he was waiting on us to say, all right, man, this is what we need for music, for marketing, for clothing, So it basically just was like a stalemate. We lived there 2 years rent free and got very little business done. So I decided to go back to school. I left the mansion and moved back into my room at my parents' house. And,
wow.
And went back to school. But I asked myself a question that completely changed the course of my career, because over the past few years, we had a lot of people influencing our music. Hey, you should do a song like this. Hey, this is a hit song. You should make something like that. And we would do it because we were talented enough, but it wasn't fulfilling. So when I went back to school and I was finally by myself for the first time in like years, I said to myself, do I have music that I would be proud to have played at my funeral? That my family would understand who I am and say, yep, that was my son. Oh, that was my brother. So my writing process changed, and I just started writing things that I liked and that mattered to me and things that I thought about. And so the Alexandar Star that exists today was born again back then.
So let's pause for a second. So at the age of 16, you got recruited. Is that right?
True. Correct.
Age of 16. Age of 18, you're recruiting an NBA player to go live at his house, to drive his fancy cars, and then to get into business with, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha. So see, gang, listeners, I Love Recruiting can even happen in the music space. This is really, really fun. So now walk me back. Let's go back to this. You decided, you had people that were telling you this is what they think you should do, right?
Yep.
And that wasn't jiving with you. So you went down the path of writing something that meant something to you. And what was that line you said? You wanted people to think about, say it again, your funeral thought. What was that?
Well, I asked myself, if I die tonight, do I have music that I will be proud to have played at my funeral? So that people who know me will be like, yeah, that was really him.
Right. Wow. That's incredible. And so that was your motivating statement for you to go on and now become the individual that we are hearing today, and the music and the lyrics that you're writing today, right?
Absolutely.
That's incredible, man. What a great story. So now catch me up to this as I opened our podcast today. I'm writing music to help people feel good, because when people feel good, great things happen. Walk us down that mindset. Walk us down that path. What does that mean to you?
So basically, throughout the years, from working with different people and collaborating with different people and seeing the impact that music has on people, my journey as an artist with, a positive message has led me to work with and connect with a lot of kids. And by kids, I mean like teens in foster care, or teens who come from like really, really rough backgrounds. I've been able to use music as a therapeutic tool. I've done therapeutic songwriting and recording sessions with teens that come from really traumatic childhoods. And in doing so, number one, you got to be good, because to impress kids who come from rough backgrounds, number one, they're not really trying to let you in anyway, because most adults that they've dealt with in their lives aren't worthy of them. They haven't gotten attention. They haven't gotten the love that they deserve. They haven't gotten the guidance or the leadership or the mentorship. These are kids who have been raised by the radio. And as a result, they value and they put high importance on the way that these artists on the radio act and they behave and they dress and they look and they talk and the way they treat women and other people and so on and so forth. I'm telling you, these young people that don't have guidance, they're raised by the radio. So in working with these kids, and seeing that, I kind of take it upon myself to like show another alternative. I'll say like 90 to 95% of songs on the radio are degrading women. They are promoting ignorance or recklessness and so on and so forth. They sound great and they'll get you pumped at the gym or whatever. But if you really break it down from the paradigm of somebody who's looking up to these people and the values they represent, they might not necessarily be the people that you should model your life after. But these are who they look up to because they're famous. So why can't the good guys win? Why can't you have somebody with a good message that's winning? You see somebody who respects women and who values life and treats people well. See these people hear them on the radio, see them on a private jet being successful. They're just happening to do it with a positive prerogative,
Right. Yeah, for sure. And to all of our listeners, the good guys winning. I love that. Because when I was at the MMUN conference with my son, there was probably 3,000 people in our audience. And when you broke out "This Is My Era" song, that whole room erupted. And if you guys haven't heard that song, you need to go download it right now. There it is. He's got the hat on right now. It says hashtag "This Is My Era." What an incredible song. What an incredible message that music that you wrote and you brought that night to that group exploded that room. So let me walk you down a path here real quick. When you see that happen, right? So when you see a room like that explode with your lyrics and the message that you are looking to bring to these young kids, these teenagers and so on and so forth, what's that make you feel?
One of the most fulfilling feelings as an artist is hearing the audience sing your song to you. Like it doesn't get better than that. And to know that what I'm doing resonates, fulfillment. That's really just the best word I can use to describe it. Like I'm not doing this for nothing. This starts off in your head, right? It's a song, it's a rhyme, it's a lyric, it's a concept, whatever. And then you take action and you put it down. You start writing it, and then you take action and you record it, and then you share it with people. And then to see it sort of catch fire with people, and now seeing people carry it forward in their lives, like using "This Is My Era" as a mantra, posting themselves, singing my songs, and things like that. That is really fulfilling, man.
Yeah, that's awesome. Tell us real quick, where did the thought process for "This Is My Era" come from?
So back in 2011. I had the vision of performing at the Olympic Games. And I thought to myself, what can I write as a theme song that'll get me on the Olympic Games field? Like I put a destination in GPS, the Olympics. Now I need to write a song that will get me to the Olympics. And they were coming up in 2012. So realistically, I didn't have a shot because, they determine those sort of things well in advance. But That was my thought process. And I was like, if I had been training my entire life, and this is once every 4 years, right? So it's not a moment, it's an era in time. I was like, if I just won the gold medal and I stood on the podium and I threw the peace sign in the sky, what phrase is going through my mind? And I was like, this is not my moment, this is my era. And it just so happens the acronym for "This Is My Era" is time, TIME. So it kind of like, it all just kind of comes together. And, the song was born. And it's just a song for like overcoming whatever obstacles are in your way and being remembered by the history books. This is my era.
Wow. And the lyrics that you wrote, those are nobody else's. I mean, you wrote that, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Wow. Well, take us through that. So what an incredible vision. So you saw a vision first, and the vision was, hey, I want to do this at the Olympics. And then so you sat down. So I've always wanted to know, what does it take to write a song? Where do you have to go mentally? Where do you have to see yourself? We knew you wanted to perform this at the Olympics. Where did you go to write the lyrics mentally?
That's an excellent question. For me, lyric writing, it really becomes like a conversation with yourself, right? Because what a song becomes is a conversation with the people that are playing it. And, for me, when I write these songs, I need to make sure that I am keeping myself engaged with these sentences I'm writing, with the lyrics that I'm writing. Is it something that I care about? If it's not, then it's probably not going to be a good song. So the first step is impressing myself, and it's a very hard step. It's very tough to almost come up with words that you know are going to resonate with other people, because first they have to resonate with you. So it's literally talking to myself. A lot of the times, if you see me walking around the grocery store, like all I do is write songs all day, no matter what I'm doing. Driving, pushing the shopping cart, like whatever, I'm writing songs, and I have instrumentals playing inside my head. So you'll see me like moving my mouth because I'm always writing lyrics. So sometimes people probably think I'm a little crazy walking around, which, I don't really care, but, it's what I do. So everywhere I go, I'm writing. With This Is My Era, I literally had to put myself in the position of a champion. I list out bullet points, basically, to give you my method. Bullet points. I come up with relevant bullet points about making it my era. So the lyrics in the song are, everybody runs the race. Some have what it takes. Others don't make it through. What about you? All of that comes from like, everybody wants this. What athlete doesn't want to be in the Olympics? You got competition. Everybody runs the race. Some have what it takes. Others don't make it through. What about you? Like that statement in and of itself, to me, that's like you standing up like, yeah, I do have what it takes. All right. Then the next line is stand up when they call your name. Stand out when you do your job. Let greatness notice you. Right? Like everybody's chasing greatness. Like, if you're just going to be great, like in everything you try to do, greatness is going to pay attention to you. If you have integrity and you're maintaining true to your goal, like people start looking at you. You know what I mean? And that's kind of how my lyrical process unfolded.
Wow. Man, that's awesome. Listeners, I hope you wrote all that down, because that was pretty badass right there. That was incredible, man. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Of course.
Hey, let's transition now real quick. Love the energy that you just brought there. That was incredible, and I know our listeners will go download that song right now. Because the good guy is winning the race right now. That's you. You're the good guy, that you're bringing this message that is clean, that is not degrading to women. Who is an influential person for you?
Ooh, another excellent question. Well, when you think of number one, like one of my number one influences is a guy named Damian Marley. It's Bob Marley's youngest son, and he's a really, really dope artist. And I really look up to him because he sings, he raps, he's got the rhythm, he's got crazy lyrics, but it's all like pro-social, and it's all like with a positive message. It's not ignorant, just like his dad, Bob Marley. I mean, if you think about what Bob Marley represents to the world, you go anywhere in the world, go to the peak of the Himalayan mountains and play his music for some monks, and everybody's gonna feel good, right? Like it is what it is. That's what I want my music to be. But also, if you really look at like the data, right? Timeless music that still gets played at weddings. Michael Jackson, Earth, Wind, and Fire. They're all positive records. None of them are degrading women. None of them are even cussing. They're not talking about anything ignorant. They're just making music that feels good. And I feel like that formula has largely been lost because, number one, culture shifts, right? Like I don't care about cursing. Like I curse every day. You should hear me in traffic. I'm just not gonna put it in my music because that will limit my audience. And I want everybody from my son to my great grandparents to be able to listen to my music, and that's just kind of the method that I've been using. So just the legends have timeless music that was not ignorant. So why wouldn't I shoot for that trajectory?
Wow, that's incredible, man. And at the end of the day, I love it again. I'm going to go back to it. I'm writing music to help people feel good. Because when you feel good, great things happen. So let's transition there. So what great things have happened to you, I'd say in the last 2 to 3 years or 5 years, since you've been going down this path? What amazing things have happened to you? Because clearly as you're writing, as you're thinking these, you're staying mentally in a great spot, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
And to see a room of 3,000 kids explode like that, not to mention, I know you went back and you did it the next week too, right?
Yep.
So what great things are happening for you?
Man, well, I think the low-hanging fruit for that question is world travel. I've been traveling all over the world with This Is My Era and with, just my original songs. Last year alone, 2019 alone, I performed in Israel, in Times Square again, in Chicago, in Rome, in Mexico, in Rwanda, in Tokyo, I'm probably forgetting a bunch of places. I've been all over the place, and these are like commissioned shows, right? As an independent artist without a record label who doesn't have like an industry engine behind him, I've performed in over 10 countries independently.
Wow.
And, I'm getting endorsements from major brands. For instance, MSC Cruises. I've done 2 projects with them. They're the world's largest independent cruise line, privately owned cruise line. I just got This Is My Era got picked up for a Super Bowl endorsement to save the coral reefs, of all things.
Wow.
So if you look up This Is My Era Super Coral Play Remix, like that one just got picked up. I think it's got like 9 million views now. It features me and some NFL players, Larry Fitzgerald, Jarvis Landry, and Mark Sanchez. And I wrote a remix about saving the planet and carbon emissions, and these guys rap my lyrics alongside me, and now we have the remix.
That's incredible, man.
Yeah, it's really cool, man, to know that I can align my music with major brands because they see value in me. Like, they approached me for that, which was, it feels amazing. And then, of course, the Emmy nomination, which was, it was really cool. We didn't win, and I wasn't going to tell anybody, but my team convinced me. My team convinced me that I should attach it to my name, and it definitely adds value. It's kind of like a passport for conversations. If I say, "Oh yeah, I'm an artist," they're like, "Oh, okay, yeah, another artist." If I say, "I'm an Emmy nominated artist," "Oh, let's talk. Let's have a conversation."
Right.
So,
very good.
Yeah, man. So I mean, that's just a few things, man. Consistent shows. People assigning new value to my name. I feel like the momentum that you were saying, like the support that I got at MMUN and stuff. I'm at a point in my career as an independent artist where I can tangibly feel momentum. That's probably what feels the best to me, because you do this for so long as an artist trying to move the needle, and the needle just does not move. But then, you reach a season where people are paying attention and people are looking and listening, and people that you don't even realize. I have people that I know for a fact do not follow my social media. But then they'll see me in public and be like, "Hey, man, I just saw you were in Tokyo." And I'm like, "How? You don't follow me." So how do you know this? But they know people are watching. And that feels really good to be at that level where it's at the point of scaling. I know there's like, I don't know what the curve in business is called, where you go like this and then you go like this and then it goes like that. I'm like here.
We call that the hockey stick.
Yeah, that's a go. Yeah, exactly. I'm right at the curve of the hockey stick.
Yeah, we definitely call it the hockey stick. Well, let's do this real quick. So we're at the curve of that hockey stick. What's next? What's up here? What's at the hockey stick?
Ooh, songs on the radio, marketing campaigns. So here's the thing. Here's how I describe it to people. I'm at the stage in my career where I've got incredibly strong wings. Right? My wings have been built up over time, right? Now I need wind. I need wind behind these wings. And that is the next step in what I'm doing. But I don't just want any wind, because some wind wants to change your chemistry. Speaking in straight metaphors, but you understand what I'm saying.
Sure.
Some wind wants to change your chemistry and your purpose. I need wind that aligns with my purpose so we can maximize the value that my impact artistry brings to the world.
That's awesome.
It's got to be special
wind. That's really, really cool. So let's do this for our listeners. Let's end this way. You've brought us a lot of value today, and we really thank you for that. We're super grateful for you to be on here. What one or two or maybe 3 things that people that are the I Love Recruiting listener base can take away from Alexandar Star? What are 3 things that, whether it's in the recruiting space or the influential space or the leadership space or the stick-to-itiveness space, from your story and from your journey here, what are a couple things that you could tell them to do?
Excellent. Number 1, authenticity is the only thing that's going to keep you happy. I say that from a creative space. If I were here people try and get me to write songs that, that I don't feel, I won't do it. I just won't do it because I've done it before and I've tried to do it. It's like working that job that you hate, right? If you have a gift, work it the way that you were bred and born to work it, or else you're just not going to be happy. And I think authenticity goes a long way because if someone is in your face and they're not being real. If they're not being authentic, you can see it. You can feel it. So whatever you're doing or whatever you're, creating or pitching or selling, whatever, just do it with authenticity and your vibe will attract your tribe.
Ooh, that's a good one. Write that down, everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Vibe equals tribe.
Yep.
Got
Vibe
it.
attracts your tribe. Number two, I'm gonna try not to do too many, I try not to be too wordy or too many cliches or whatever, but if you understand what you have is special and other people don't understand it, that's okay. Most people don't. Nobody knows what you're doing until you've done it. So do it until it's done.
Ooh, good one.
That's a line from one of my songs called Our Women. Nobody's going to know what you're doing until you're done it. So doggone it, do it until it's done. Then they congratulate you. Oh, I believed in you the whole time.
Right? Yeah, that's good.
That's kind of how it goes. And I think number three, this is so tough to just grab value out of the air. But
you're doing great.
I guess as long as you're having fun, other people will have fun. And that's what I told. So at MMUN, just for all the listeners, at MMUN, not only did I perform, but I did a secret songwriting workshop with the students, with a small group of students, and they created music from scratch. And in a 3-hour session, we met, we broke the ice, we ideated, we wrote, and we recorded a song in 3 hours. And then on the last day, we performed that song in front of the few thousand people on stage, right?
You did, yep.
And which was really cool. Small window, big accomplishment. But what I tell them is listen, when we're on stage in front of all these people, because I'm a professional artist, they're not professional artists. I don't know if they've been on stage in front of 3,000 people before. It's listen, if you look like you're scared, if you look like you're apprehensive and tense, that's how the audience is going to feel. If you look like you're having the time of your life, the audience is going to be having the time of your life. If you mess up on your words, this is the professional trick I say. Listen, if you forget your words, just point your finger in the sky and look down and look like you're just vibing to the music. Nobody will know. They'll be like, oh man, they're feeling that. Oh, listen, if you're having fun, everybody's going to have fun, even if you mess up. So, whatever it is that you're doing, that's my third business. If you're having fun, other people are going to gravitate towards you, even if what you're doing is not perfect. They're going to want to be around it because you're having fun. So, man,
that is awesome. I tell you what, Alexandar Star, I'm having fun right now, and I don't want this to end. This is too good. So tell all the listeners where they can go to download your music, where they can hear your music, where they can see and learn more about you.
Sweet. So I am Alexandar Star Googleable, STAR, not 2 R's. I'm on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, any streaming platform under Alexandar Star. And on social media, just put a Mr. in front of it. MR Alexandar Star across the board. Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, at Mr. Alexandar Star. And of course, if you want to do the easy way, just go to alexandarstar.com. And it's right
there. It is. That's awesome. Well, hey, I really, really appreciate this. You have been a big impact on my kids. They love your music. I love your music. It's fantastic. Thanks for being so... I can't begin to tell you how cool it was to be able to see you up on stage and then be able to walk up to you and kind of give you the bro handshake and the bro hug as if we already knew each other. And then here we are on a podcast together, man. This has been really, really cool. Thanks for doing this.
Absolutely, man. It's my pleasure. And I know your kids are like tennis stars, yo. Play one of my songs at the stadium and take a video, man. So I can post that on Instagram.
We definitely will. We'll do that for sure. So
Sweet.
I Love Recruiting podcast listeners. This is Adam Roach with Alexandar Star. We're signing off, and we'll talk to you next time. Take care.